Welcome back to another Anno 1800 news video. We're going to cover the latest dev blog, game update 16, but also a couple of important news that were on Discord, so you may have missed it. Stay tuned for that. Starting first, of course, with the game update 16 dev blog that you can see on the screen. I'll post it in the video description below if you want to read it all. It describes the major changes that we can expect with game update 16 that is coming on December 8th. Remember, this is when DLC 12, the New World Rising, is going to launch. This is also when the Old Town Pack cosmetic DLC is going to launch. Remember that for this cosmetic DLC, you actually need to buy it separately. Even if you bought Season 4, you don't get it. And on top of that, we're also getting a free update as always, which is this update 16. So once again, even if you don't have Season 4, even if you didn't buy DLC 12, you will still get most of what I'm going to talk about now. There are a number of new things that are coming for everybody. I already made a video that's covering everything that's coming into this DLC. Don't hesitate to check in the video description below if you want to see it. But to recap, we're gonna get the multi-move tool. You're gonna be able to move multiple buildings, different buildings, even streets at the same time. We're also going to get a revamped construction menu where there is a dedicated categories for your ornaments. So, if you're a beauty builder and you always want to find the right ornaments, you'll be able to easily find them. And at the same time, if you're not a beauty builder and you don't care about ornaments, well, you can sort of ignore them because now they're on the side. We're also getting a new world that is expanded, right? You're getting a bigger map with more islands, and the island pool has also been expanded, meaning if you start a new game after the release, you may see some of those new islands right from the start, even in the middle of the map. And then there's also a number of new items that you can see here, and when we have the release, I'll show them to you live, of course. Another big thing that they all already talked about, but now we see some details, is the lifestyle need rebalancing or balancing, if you wish, where basically you're going to have two things happening. The first one is that most of them, we're gonna need to produce less, we're gonna need to provide less to get the bonus. So for example, instead of needing one beer hunter for 100 residences for your investors, now you're only going to need 0.65 for 100 houses. But on the other side, what they've done is that they've also, for some of them, reduced the number of population that is gained by default. And it's in particular important for the engineers and investors, where before you would get the same amount of additional population, whatever the level. If it was a skyscraper level 1, level 2, level 3, you would get the same thing. And similarly for the panorama effect, if it was a panorama of 0 or panorama of 5, you would get the same thing. Now apparently, if I'm understanding all of this correctly, this will scale. So if your skyscraper is only level 2 and you have no panorama, you will get less than you would have had before the update. But then if you get full panorama and it's a level 5, then you would get more population for less consumption. So it's also a bit more realistic. So all in all, this change I think is a great one. We'll have to see, of course, in game if that's really balanced, if that's really working, but I think it's definitely a good direction. But actually for me, the biggest change of all is this one over here, which to my knowledge, they actually hadn't really talked about before. So we may have to be a bit careful, but they're saying they have improved the airship behavior for docking at free piers. That had obviously been a big problem since the launch, where basically in most cases your airships were only going to the one airship platform that has a very slow loading and unloading speed. And therefore the airships were really useless for resources outside of the mail, for all of the big players out there, for all of the big saves that you have. Now it seems that they may have improved that if you have piers that are free, maybe your airships are going to use them better, are going to be smarter, to use the one where there is a high loading speed. So I'm definitely keen to see that, because that would be a big change, especially for all of the min-maxers out there, all of the people that have big save and problems with their transport. And then there is quite a long list of bug fixes, which is always good to see, but to be honest, I am missing some key ones there. The first one being that many of the new ships, like the flamethrowers, are not attacking anybody, and it doesn't seem to be fixed at all. Another one that many people have been complaining for months that also doesn't seem to be fixed is the Iron Tower quest that is really bugged. Of course, no mention of DirectX 12 crash. So I'm not saying that those bug fixes are not important, and I'm not glad that they're not there, but to be honest, I feel like this is a long list hiding the fact that they actually haven't fixed the big things that a lot of people are talking about, There's also a lot of people that even if they don't use any mods have issues with AI progressions, AI being blocked, being very slow to progress, and once again this is not mentioned. So I'm definitely a bit disappointed by that. And the other thing of course that we need to realize is in the last few DLCs, any new updates was bringing more and more bugs. So I'm really hoping that this won't be the case this time, because then with Christmas break approaching, we may have to wait a long time before this could be actually playable. But then on Discord, Tolof was on fire, and apparently we're getting another blog tomorrow. So tomorrow, Friday the 2nd of December, we are apparently getting another dev blog, and this will apparently share some news around new ornaments for the Grand Gallery, and maybe more, let's see. And on top of that, he said on Monday we're also getting something else. You know, it may not be a dev blog, it may be something else. Maybe it's on Twitter, I don't know, but he definitely said, you know, let's warm up the F5 button, which means, you know, you need to wait, you need to be ready to update. Usually it's the Anno website, but again, it's something else because it's also a Monday, so usually they don't really share those type of things on Monday. But yeah, something is coming. I don't think it's gonna be about season 5 or it's something like this. It could be about announcing a new stream. Again, if there is something around season 5 or on what's happening next year, I don't think they will do it in a blog. I think they will do it in a live stream, but maybe I'm wrong. Don't hesitate to tell me in the comments below. First of all, what do you think about this devlog tomorrow, this thing on Monday? What are you expecting? And also, what do you think about Game Update 16? Are you missing some other bugs that I haven't mentioned? Are you excited by what you actually saw? I'd love to hear your thoughts. I will of course cover the launch when it happens, so don't hesitate to subscribe if you haven't done so already, so you can make sure to see it right away. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time.